Where the preaching is clear, concise, convicting, and quality. Hey there, y'all, and welcome to another edition of Revved Up with me, the Reverend D. Raymond Montgomery, or D-Ray, as some like to call me. This is one of those editions of Revved Up that's ripped from the headlines. And I don't know exactly what that means, but I get the sense that sometimes what it means is it's current. Now, the question is war okay? Is it okay that we are at war? Let's just start right off the bat and say nobody likes war. Well, I mean, except Civil War reenactors and those militiamen in Wyoming. But nobody also, I guess you could say warlords and gun dealers. So there are a few, reporters probably, mercenaries who make a living that way. You can't blame them for liking war. But other than that, typical people, you and me, regular Joe, we don't really like war. In fact, the good book encourages us to pursue peace one with another. But there are a few incidents where God encourages us to destroy somebody else. Or one of the things that we really hate about war is people are getting killed. Bottom line, those people were going to die anyway. Let me give you an example. These fellas in Pharaoh's army who were chasing Moses, those people all died from drowning. Red Sea closes up on them, dead. Now, those guys died a terrible death, but isn't it possible? Maybe they were going to die in a catastrophic house fire. Maybe they were going to get tied to the back of a camel and dragged through the desert. Maybe they're going to fall off a cliff onto a bunch of cactus or whatever. We have no way of knowing that because we have finite minds. We can't see everything the way that God does. So in some ways, war is actually merciful in the way that sometimes it kills people who are going to die in much worse ways. The second way in which war is justified, spiritually speaking, is that sometimes it's a natural byproduct of our actions. So let me give you an example here. If I was to hit an old lady who was crossing the street illegally with my Benz, you wouldn't call what that lady does to my car war. It's not declaring war on my car. We would call that justice. We would say that woman is getting what she deserves. She should have been in the crosswalk. The same thing is true. Sometimes we look at what's happening between two nations, and I would say that what they're getting is the consequence of what is essentially nothing more than spiritually jaywalking. And the army of the Lord is like my Mercedes. They just get what's coming. They should have been in the crosswalk, and they get crushed, kind of like she did, or theoretically. And the third way in which war happens and is acceptable is that sometimes just places where God has certain people that he just wants to see dead. If God didn't want some of us to die, well, he would have made us all out of steel, or he would have given us the power of invisibility. But he made us fragile and disposable because I think he knew in advance that there were going to be moments in history where he's going to want to get rid of a few of us. When I think about it, though, it's not really war that bothers me as much as battle. And the place where I find solace, though, and comfort is in this. The Bible says the battle is the Lord's. The thing I'm so upset about, it's not mine, it's God's. I hope that helps, sheds a little light in your life there this week. And again, it's been a privilege. I appreciate you paying attention to our program. This is the Reverend D. Ray Montgomery with Revved Up, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.